Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Levi Spade Show. Your host, Levi. Hope you guys are doing okay. Hope you guys had a good week. There was a big question in my mind, and that was, will Zynga survive or run out of money? More and more, I'm starting to see people using their mobile device for playing games. Sometimes I get an itch to open up my iPhone and play a little bit and chill out for a few minutes while I wait for someone or wait for some project to get completed. I was looking at Zynga's chart for net income, and boy oh boy, they just for the past couple of years been losing money. Now, there's just been this slight little treading of water where they can just barely keep their head above water. My goodness, it's just a small mobile gaming company that is trying to create some exciting games for people. Are they too early? Are people still just not interested in mobile games? Well, this is something I want to cover in this week's video. Before I do, though, I want to just remind you guys that now is a good time as ever to begin looking at investing and setting up your future. It's a long-term deal. You want to be able to think out 10 to 20 years from now and not always be focused on the moments. You can, 5 years from now, think back on this time and think, wow, it was just a little situation I was in, but overall, things have improved much better. You could probably incorporate this into other aspects of your life too, and that's a trade strategy. How are you going to respond and figure out when to act? And this is what investors call a trade strategy when it comes to putting their money to work when investing in certain stocks or other investments. I always like to find out these certain types of facts because they give me inspiration and kind of help me stay on a track. And that is, if you had bought a share in Netflix at the start, way back when they did their IPO, you would have an investment of 280x return. That's just incredible. You almost never see a portfolio have that. It's something to shoot for and something that I want to do in my own portfolio and say, yes, I did that. So hold a stock as long as possible. If you do have to cash out, it should be for a good reason. So here's just a few facts about Zynga that I came across that helped me just get to know the company a little better. They were founded in 2007. I think that's around the time that I had graduated from college and just getting into the workforce. They have 1,883 employees, so they're a relatively small company. Some of these other Fortune 500 companies have close to 100,000 employees, so they just have around 2,000 employees, a really small company. They're in the communication services sector. When I first saw Zynga, I thought automatically they were a technology company, but really they're in the communication services sector. And the industry they are in is in gaming and electronic media. Their market cap is $6.2 billion. So they're a pretty small company compared to, say, like General Electric or Visa. They are just a fraction of the size of those other big companies. Now here is a snapshot of 3 of the popular games of Zynga. Game of Thrones, from that ever popular TV show that you might have heard about or watched. Words with Friends, I know my mother-in-law plays this and I've played it once or twice. CSR Racing, the graphics in there are pretty good and it's a fast-paced game. I think I've played it a couple of times. But these are just a few of the 40 games that Zynga has in their portfolio that they've created over the years with developers. Now, the one big partnership they have is with Facebook. And Facebook, is just so large. And they've been able to promote Zynga and the games they have in their app. So a lot of people have exposure and have seen the games of Zynga and have made it really easy to play the games amongst friends they know on Facebook. Now, investors were able to start investing in Zynga in 2011. Now, I naturally wanted to know, how do they make money? Well, it's called in-game purchases, and Zynga likes to call them virtual items. You download their free game, and then as you start playing, you have to pay a little bit of money to unlock a new level or get a certain item or level up on a certain tool or skin that you might need in a particular game. They also allow a lot of other companies to put little ads within those mobile games. Zynga gets a little cut of that. Licensing and agreements from big companies like Facebook and Google, Apple, and the list goes on. Now, this might be the little more difficult side to see of Zynga, but let's just peek at how much they owe and have in the bank. They publicly show all this information, and one website that I pull it from is Macro Trends. I just like their charts and how they show the data. Cash on hand, that just simply means how much available cash do they have. Now, the definition for cash on hand is available cash or investments you're able to convert within 90 days or 3 months. So their last recent quarter, at the end of 2019, they had $1.39 billion cash on hand. So that's a pretty good amount of money for how small they are. At the bottom there, I've shown that there's 125% quarterly year-over-year growth for this company for cash on hand. And that just simply means the same time period a year ago, they have 125% more cash available. To make that a little easier to understand, that means it's just a little over twice the amount of money. Now, this is the chart from long-term debt is another key metric to look at in the fundamentals of Zynga. $700 million in long-term debt. This is loans and liabilities that are due longer than 1 year. Zynga will have to deal with. And there's just this recent trend where they've begun to take on more debt each quarter. So this is a red flag to me. Makes me ask questions like, oh no, why are they taking out more money to fund their operations? And if you were to go back to that net income chart at the beginning of this video, you would see why. They're burning through cash each quarter. So they're having to slowly take out more money to keep their doors open. Recent news often dictates and affects the stock price of a company. So let's just take a peek at maybe some of the recent articles that Zynga has had. Business Wire came out with this article about Harry Potter Puzzles and Spells, a Magical Match 3 mobile game. We all know that Harry Potter is so synonymous with our culture and popular. This could be a big boost to Zynga. They also came out with Racing 2 and some of the newer features that are in this game. Probably some better graphics and new elements to the game. Now, analysts are bearish on Zynga. That just simply means that the people that follow Zynga closely in these investment firms have lost some confidence and think that Zynga's stock price is going to go down in the coming months. And the reason is because they haven't been profitable for the past couple of years. And we saw that in the net income chart at the beginning of this video. Tied in so much with Facebook, you could almost say their fate is tied with Facebook. Now, fortunately, Facebook is so big and popular right now, but you never know. How long is Facebook going to continue to be king of the hill? And their net margin has fallen to 3%. You can see by this chart here that there's this continual downtrend for their margin. Margin just simply means how effective are they with taking the sales that they get from customers and actually turning it into money at the end of the day. This was probably confusing to see this headline. Facebook basically owns Zynga. Well, Zynga has a stock and Facebook has a stock. So does Facebook basically own Zynga? They're two separate companies. This article dives more into the relationship and agreement Zynga has with Facebook and what they can and can't do. So there's two sides to this argument. Now this is the chart of declining margins for Zynga, and you can see it's been up and down, but overall their net margins have been declining over the years. These are the three biggest competitors that are competing against Zynga, and it's Activision Blizzard, Electronic Arts Inc., Take-Two Interactive. Zynga is going to have some stiff competition from these companies as they are also developing games as well. What are the hidden factors that may have Zynga coming out on top? Well, first, the rise of casual mobile gaming. Zynga from the outset has been all about creating mobile games on the devices people carry in their pockets throughout the day. It's very different from Electronic Arts Inc. or Activision, where they're games that you have to be in front of a fast computer, and people always don't have time to do that. They've also partnered with the World Poker Tour. There might be a long-lasting relationship with the two, which could boost sales and revenue for Zynga. Zynga's been busy and strategic in including Gram Games and Small Giant Games to their portfolio. They've taken some of that money and bought out Gram Games and Small Giant to strengthen their position in the mobile gaming industry. In the article for the rise of casual mobile gaming, they give the statistics that 2.4 billion people will play here in the year 2020. Overall, 33% of all app downloads have been for mobile games. 74% of consumer spend is in relations to mobile game versus all the other types of mobile apps that are out there. That's just a very startling statistic. Here's my key takeaways for Zynga. Honestly, I think Zynga is going to have some money to fall back on. I think they're going to be okay in the years to come. As I think about the current events going on, there's been a lot of social gatherings and events that have been canceled, such as sports, concerts, stores, movie theaters, and tourist attractions. In 2020, there's going to be a lot less of people getting together, spending a lot amount of money for tickets, and mobile gaming is going to be a lot more attractive and their go-to place to spend their time and money within the apps. Another little tidbit I want to add is that AR and multiplayer online gaming is going to become more popular as technology progresses, gets faster, the graphics become more detailed. Zynga is going to be well positioned. What do you guys think? Is there a particular aspect to Zynga that you love? Is there a particular game that Zynga has developed and created that you love playing? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Consider subscribing to the channel. Overall, it really helps my channel out and allows other people to see the videos that I create. And hit that bell icon so you see the videos I upload right away. Well, until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.